Hi guys, it's Sonelias and welcome back to Hearts of Iron number 4, which we're currently of course playing as one of our two empires. We're going to not be playing the Central American Empire, we're going to be playing the Leo Belgicus over here, which we see now. But currently we're fighting on the Eastern Front. So let's get started by loading the game. Alright, what did we do last time that we were playing this? Well, let's have a quick look. So we're going to go back to the Eastern Front here. So we're not working in Indonesia at the moment. Well, let's have a quick look there. As you can see, we basically took over the entire island here. Now, we've got some capabilities here that we could basically utilize to maybe invade Singapore and so forth. Is this already occupied? This is... no, that's Siam. Then we got Burma there and so forth. Now, I'm kind of inclined to go more in this direction here. There's a bit of Portugal here, and I believe Portugal is not an Axis member yet. No, they're not. But we are fighting, of course, here in this bit. That's Australia. Australian jungle here. So that's pretty nice. Looks like we're having yeah, pretty decent luck there. Let's just double check. This general here. So this is basically the defensive guy who's basically defending everything. Let's add this section to there as well. Can I? Yeah, I have already. That's already part of it as well. I could start adding this as well, I think. Plus that. So I want to take pretty much all of that land there if I can. I'm not going to take the Portuguese land, but I do want to see what I can actually do with these troops here. Now, what is the composition of this division here? That's purely infantry, it looks like, and then this one, sorry, that's the same type. This one here, I wanted to say, that's actually got a scout or recon company attached as well. So have I got a surplus of recon or at least the support equipment? I've got a little bit in reserve, not a lot. I should be able to use that at the very least. Let's have a look at our production here first. So we're basically producing various different bits and bobs. Now I do want to basically dump all of these back to the top here. There are factories that were damaged in the insurgencies that basically are occurring in our occupied territories. So we're going to be repairing those. And let's put this one at the top because that will be done the quickest anyways. The idea basically there being we should be able to, of course, get our factories up and running again as quickly as we can. Now these troops here that I was talking about, what are we going to do with them? I'm thinking that I want to basically get them over to one of my own naval bases again. So we could basically bring them back here, I think. The question then, of course, is how are we going to accomplish that? There's various different ways of doing that. I think, firstly, I'm going to basically select, of course, all of them. And I'm going to bring them all to one naval port. Well, they're actually already there, isn't it? So that makes that easier. So I've already basically taken a preceding step. I'm going to move them across the sea here. So yeah, the idea is basically I'll be able to get them across. At least I hope. And we can deal with that as such. Let's look at our navies. Navies are operating in here, so that's good at least. Now, one of the things I haven't actually done with you guys yet, I actually haven't actually looked at the Eastern Front here. As you can see, we're fighting quite diligently here. We've still got manpower in reserve. Not a lot, but we still have some in reserve here. We're trying to push the Russians back, basically. That's the key thing we're trying to do. This one can go into there as well. This one as well. So yeah, we're committing quite a lot of troops here. Actually, let's put these into there instead. So we're going to try to push them out of that little section there. Trying to get to that river, because the river is a very natural defensive barrier. Like you see over here already, basically that river is a great barrier. And that actually has prevented the Germans from basically pushing forward nicely, but also prevented the Russians from pushing back against the Germans. Despite that, there's still a little bit of a beachhead here. Same happening in some other places, but yes. Now we've created a beachhead here, and we've actually gone across there, which is good. There's more fighting occurring here, it looks like. Now, lots of these troops here, as you can see, are currently fighting here, defending here. Let's see if it can help out in some way or another in part of that fighting that's occurring here. Alright, let's move them over and then basically help out from the other side of the river. Right, we're almost across. Yep, as you can see, that's good. Now, I'd like to move them up to there because the crossing is relatively narrow there. So once we get into port, my idea is basically cross over there as quickly as we can. We're almost there. I'm just going to wait for them to land. Yeah, they're landed, and I'm now going to basically go straight there. I should really be using this. Oops. Yep, we're using, of course, the transport modes available to us. Alright, how many are there? Well, it looks like there's only one left. Well, at least I thought there was. I guess there's a few more. Right, that's it. And the system should automatically reallocate them to those individual islands. As you can see, we are slowly taking ownership of this bit of land here, which is great. Makes my life a bit easier. So we're nicely defending, of course, our own property here. Africa is... okay. Africa is very French and very, very British at the moment, as you can see. Which, of course, is not ideal, but yeah. Free France is here. If only we get Turkey on our side. That would be a great thing if we could get that done. How are we doing in terms of this? So we're basically getting a fair amount of that coming through. Maybe let's see if we can basically make him more fascist. And we're in 1941, so it's still early days. It's still early days. Now this bit here. Okay, state owner. Okay. Russians are a state owner. Colony state. Okay. Alright, let's see, what do we got here? Jewish troops are moving in nicely. Alright, let's support those attacks there as well. And let's see what we can do to basically push them back properly. Cool. So this front here should change quickly. Or I should say rather quickly, because of course of the number of troops we're committing to here. Now 2 of these divisions, I think they're both the infantry divisions, will be beaten back really, really, really quickly. And hopefully we'll be able to move our own troops into the gap that's created there subsequently. The Germans themselves seem to be doing okay over here. What can we do? What's happening to the troops here? We got this one here that we can commit to that engagement there. Alright, any more troops here that I could basically select potentially? Yeah, this one again I want to basically send over there. That one's already attacking. So yeah, there's lots of defense going on here, as you can see. There's a lot of fighting going on here. Alright, let's have a look again at these guys here. They are getting ready. I just need to basically, of course, set some preparation plans in to play. Let's say I'm going to basically invade there. How long is that going to take to prepare? 38 days. So let's say I remove these divisions from there. So unassign them as such. These orders now take 24 days. So it takes a bit less long to get that done. Let's select all of these here. 17. Okay, perfect. Let's get back to here. So nothing really happening in France. That seems to be relatively stable. We of course are losing various different conflicts here, which okay, not quite happy with, but okay. Let's just double check. What's happening to our navy in the meantime? Our navy here, southern France. There's no commander assigned at the moment, so let's assign a good commander to there. This one's a pretty good commander here. So if I were to assign this guy here to do, of course, convoy raiding, but also at the same time, let's say, do search and destroy. Oh, sorry, it looks like we can't do both. We have to do one or the other. You cannot do both. Strait of Malay, okay. The Surabaya class. This is the HRMS Surabaya. Alright, so yeah, it killed one ship, as you can see, or at least assisted in sinking one other ship. Our navy is pretty much beaten. Pretty much beaten. Okay. So this one here is... okay, it's operating in basically an anti-ship capacity. Have we got... ooh, look at these. These are, I guess, are in a support capacity. Are we waiting for orders or what? It would be nice if you could see somewhere here whether they're attached to something or not. I don't know. How do I have to see that? Or how do I get to see that? Okay, so these are of course the fighters class 2. So we got a fairly large component of air experience there. Let's see what we're doing in terms of research at the moment. We're basically researching a better class of, yeah, that's a heavy attack plane, I believe. So let's just double check where we are. So we basically are in 1941. It makes sense for me to make a variant of that particular fighter that we're currently developing, or building. So let's say I'm going to go here, and let's say I do want to take that plane, which is... alright, it's already the Mark 1 that we got. How can I improve it further? Because at the moment I'm at the maximum in terms of air experience. I want to increase its reliability in its engine, its weapons, its range. So let's make these adjustments here. That's basically the Mark 2. And let's switch over to the Mark 2. As you can see, it's not a massive reduction that we're seeing there. There is a reduction, but of course the quality of the fighters will be increased quite substantially. I'm increasing also the number of those that I'm actually dealing with there. How many of these naval results have we got? So let's go back to the nice eastern front that we had here. As you can see, we were quite successful in capturing this particular section here. Right. A bit of research completed. That's the mechanized infantry here. Anything else I can do at the moment here? Well, it doesn't really look like much. But I am going to work on the engineering company upgrade. Alright, so what are we doing at the moment? I think I should be able to push these guys back. Maybe not. Alright, these guys are defending, it looks like. They're not helping out there anyway, so in that sense, yeah, it's fine. Alright, let's have these guys move here. And then go into attack that province. Alright, a whole batch of them. A whole lot of them. There's still a few Germans left there, so I'm going to leave those where they are. Again, I'm basically committing more troops from here as well. Let's see whether I can actually make a difference. I'm going to keep these guys here. I know they're going to lose out, but Yeah, I just want to basically keep the pressure on them in the meantime. See what kind of impact I can potentially have there. And I thought there were only 4 of them there. So how many have we got? It is 4. It is 4. Just the combat width is different from what we got. And of course the individual amount of firepower that's committed as well is also different. Alright, let's help out here. If we can. Alright, what's happening here? These guys are getting ready, of course, to be able to cross over. Still going to be a little bit of time. Right. I'm not having too much luck here, it looks like. Right, these guys are indeed attacking. But again, like I said, they're not having much luck. So let's move them over to actually attack the other province there. Let's see what we can do to help out in that sense. This is the Marines. We're going to basically adjust the borders slightly. Perfect. Yeah, hopefully that makes a bit of a difference. That means I don't have to have troops in here. Yeah, it's mostly that pocket I'm concerned about. Germans can basically take care of most of this here, really. Germans don't have a direct claim to that, but they do have down here. And it does look like the enemy is actually pushed into there somewhat. Alright. Any changes here? I guess having the game on pause doesn't really help, does it? So, okay, so we're basically nicely engaging them here. Unfortunately, the Russians are also reinforced in that province. But we're committing quite a few more fresher troops now into here as well. Defense is going quite okay here. Quite happy with that. Maybe not as well as I had hoped. Let's move these back, because it looks like we're going to be losing that. Alright, let's then move into that new space. Quite a bit more troops here now. Some of our troops have returned here. And they're helping in the defense there, which is good. Alright, what's happening up here? The Russians are still attacking. Okay. We can modify our government. So what are we going to make in terms of changes here now? We can of course choose to do something here. Same with here. That's all basically in terms of research is going to give a boost. There's not really that much I can do. I got limited conscription. I can switch over to extensive conscription, which will increase the training time, but also basically gives you an extra boost in terms of manpower. Let's go for the extensive conscription. I think that will be quite useful to have. Slowly growing our manpower, which gives me a few more options in terms of actually how we're fighting the enemy. So it looks like we're winning this here. little bit over there. No, not so much. Okay. Lots of low morale units there. How are we doing here? They got some extra troops coming in, which, yeah, okay. Again, not great. One German division is attacking there, which again, yeah, well, what can we do? Are we recruiting anything? We are recruiting units in Luxembourg, and these are basically occupational forces that we have. And of course, there's more troops in Sumatra and so forth that are being done. So yes, I'm going to increase that by one more. Let's have a look back over there. What's happening at the moment here? So as you'll see now, basically troops are basically occupying here these corners here as well. So let me just check. Has this been occupied or not? No, it's still in the wrong hands, I would say. So, okay, these look different. Right, because I guess they're under Indonesian control. It's okay, it's fine. Which in itself is fine. So these troops are all in ships at the moment, which means of course that they're gonna go towards where I want them to go. Which I've got no complaints about whatsoever. Let's get that going again. Let's have a look over here. Did we manage to basically push them back out of there? It looks like we will shortly. Basically broaden that beachhead a little bit. Cool. Nice, we completed that research. Let's have a look at what we can do next. So that's the one we just completed in terms of researching. Now, what do I want to basically get now? Do I want to get some naval bombers? Is that what I basically got? Which divisions have I basically got shortages on? I'm actually producing some. I didn't realize that. Let's go to the tier 2 here. Perfect. No issue with that. But what are we going to do here? I want to probably set this to ground support, I guess. Or do I want to do something here? We are 1941, so that's this layer here. Resource efficiency gain, yes. Useful, but no, I don't want to do that now. Could of course go for this one, the atomic research. In terms of naval, could of course go for trade interdiction, because yeah, if I'm going to work on submarines, that would help. But what am I doing with submarines? We can research a new one here that I actually haven't done yet. So let's get that done. A new submarine, which is the O21 class, which is fine. Good. I would say we're doing pretty decently here, I would say. Except look at the number of troops they got in reserve. It's huge. So up here, it's not really that successful, our encounter, but... Hold on. If we got troops on this side here already... If these troops are in here, which they look to be... How comes that particular province is not ours? Is that a bug? Ooh, assembly line production, nice. So that's this one here that we just completed. Great. I could of course go for that efficiency here. How much am I producing in reality? Let's have a look. So we're actually extracting a lot of aluminum. Suriname, Pas-de-Calais, French Guiana, British Guiana. So most of that is coming from the overseas locations, as you can see. And we've of course also got steel here, which is coming from Holland, Flanders, Luxembourg, etc., etc. Are we exporting some? Yes, we are exporting some. We're exporting some to the Dutch East Indies, Dominican Republic, and so forth. And they see aluminum is being exported to Turkey. Okay. So in terms of research, I think I will be going for the extraction efficiency. Could be quite useful. We got some new divisions here, it looks like, which we're going to add to our Marines. Is there more than one? No, there's just the one. So this one we're going to send over here by rail. There's no other way of sending it at the moment anyway, so that's okay. This one is, yeah, I don't see that happening at the moment. Fair number of troops there. We got a fair number of troops here as well. What's happening here for the north? Not much, once again, I would say. We got enough infantry weapons. Oh, yeah. Maybe. What's the latest design, though? Quick look here. So that is basically the Berkman MP28. So if I look at my stockpile here, how many Berkman M28s have we got? Not many. We're producing a fair decent number. But we would need a fair amount more to basically get all those upgrades done. Hungary claims overlordship over Slovakia. Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah, that's fine. What is this? Okay, so... Okay, Slovakia is now owned by Hungary. CM joins the Greater Eastern European Cooperative Sphere. Okay. So let's go back to here. So Siam is now part of course, the territory that we are dealing with. So this is friendly territory, basically. So I'd love to get my hands on this section here. Let's see what kind of resources are in play there. Look at that. Steel, tungsten, rubber, aluminum. After ample deliberation, the German government under Adolf Hitler has decided to give in to the Hungarian demands. They've accepted Hungarian control over Slovakia, referring to appease Horthy to preserve peace. Okay. I thought they were part of the same party. Apparently not. Let's activate this and actually see the execution occurring. Come on, let's get those divisions in. Are they making landfall already? Yes, they are. Alright, let's get some of these troops moving here. Alright. Cool. Cool. Alright, cool. Quite happy with that. Decent result. Here, this one, of course. Where do we assign that to? That's, of course, part of this entire scheme here. Now, this is the occupational forces. So it's basically managing the occupation of that central section. Where it actually is working towards reducing the tension. So resistance map, as you can see, that's, yeah, the goal here is really to reduce that as much as possible. So these guys here are operating under that particular banner. I don't need to be in that particular province anymore, it looks like. Which makes my life a bit easier. Alright, we were able to destroy some convoys. More troops. More of of these little guys here. They'll be moving out. Cool. Got lots of troops along the border here with the North Sea here. And it looks like the Greeks are once again trying to invade. Once again. It seems to be getting a common thing now. The unicorns? Oh. Sorry, these are the wrong template I assigned to them. Oh gosh. Alright, let's get them in the right position because yeah, they were in the wrong position. I thought it was these troops with the unicorn, but for some reason I confused that eagle. I'm assuming it's an eagle with that unicorn, and that's not good. One of the things you'll notice here is basically my experience in terms of air. It keeps on creeping up and creeping up. Guys, in the meantime, I think it's a great time for us to call it a day, so that's exactly what we're going to do. So we're going to call it a day, and of course, hopefully you guys have enjoyed today's episode. A bit more fighting on the Eastern Front, but quite a bit more occupation happening in Southeast Asia, and you'll hopefully next episode we'll be able to see the full occupation of... Is that Burma? I think it is. Or is it Singapore? Burma? Anyways, guys, I'll see you in the next one. In the meantime, take care. Bye-bye.